another episode of Serpent Garage. As you can see, I've got this 2019 Kawasaki KX85 on the stand. It's got a bit of a bog, and it's kind of seems underpowered. So first things first, I am going to do a compression check. Alright, so I got the spark plug out, and looks like we have good compression. It builds up quite well. So I'm gonna rule out the top end. I'm gonna say that what we have here is most likely a carburetor issue. So I'm gonna get the carburetor out, clean that up, and go from there. One thing I will say is that this spark plug is pretty darn ugly. So we might do a new spark plug as well, which is a NGKR 105 R6252K. Got the carburetor out. I'm gonna open it up and see how these jets look. Doesn't look like it's been abused too bad because it is coming apart easily. But I will say that of all the bikes there are, Kawasaki has to be my least favorite one to work on. They just make you work harder than anyone else does to take the most simplest things apart. Even something as simple as getting the flow bowl off. Don't know what I'm hung up on here. There we go. I see, it's just the drain stem appears to have been bent at some point. So the inside of the carburetor actually looks spotless. I'm gonna pull out the pilot jet. .38 pilot, and yeah, it's a little plugged up. Let's see. Did have the slightest bit of gunk in the pilot jet. Check this main jet. And we are running a 140 main jet, which is pretty clear. So I can rule out the carburetor. I'm going to just go ahead and say that this spark plug is probably bad. Either that, or it just possibly wasn't sealed up properly. and may have been causing an air leak. So let's get that back together and get it back on the bike. So far, the only actual issue I'm running into is the drain stem and the carburetor being bent. Other than that, the outside of the carburetor is just dirty. But that's okay, we can deal with that. Alright, I'm going to get this back on the bike. I'm going to, for now, just clean up the spark plug and make sure I get it in there nice and tight and a good seal and see what happens. I got the spark plug back in, the carburetor's back in. Everything seems to be checking out. I did thoroughly clean off the spark plug, and I made sure that the spark plug is actually fully torqued down. So I'm gonna get the fuel tank back on and see if it won't fire up and run me up the street. So, no, I sound like a big complainer about these Kawasaki's, but it's beyond me how a manufacturer is going to build bikes like this and give you almost no access for serviceability as far as being able to reach the simplest little parts. Like even right now, all I'm doing is getting the fuel line on, and I just have no room at all to work in there. And then the fact that in order to take the fuel tank on and off, you have to remove 7 bolts. That's just insane. That's something, a couple things that I'll never understand. All right. Let's see. Petcock's on this side. Let's get this bike fired up. And see what happens. Make sure I get these hoses routed up. All right. So the choke doesn't stay engaged on it. Interesting. There it goes. There we go. Okay. Have to hold the choke on. All right, let's take it for a test ride. Choke is off.